Everyone, happy Thursday night. We got the whole weather team. Zach Gilday, Peyton Langford, myself. Josh will be in the morning, not too far from now. Here we go. Someone said another one, Dan. Yep, unfortunately, another chance of storms.
Another round.
We're going to dive into that. We're going to take a look. We're going to have Peyton geek out with us. He's talking about a potential for a spin up, and I definitely agree. I think it's not out of the question. I mean, it's like you can't say the tornado threat is zero in this type of environment. You just can't. So
yeah, it's just too humid. Got that front. A lot of different variables to watch. And you were outside all evening.
Ooh.
You were sweating.
It was unbelievably humid. We'll take a look at the humidity and what it is. But I can tell you, shout out to everybody that went to Gauley Park. Awesome time tonight. We gave out those Pig Trail Nation fans. They're like little, but you can fold them up and then they expand out and they have a wire and then they have a little handle. And boy, I can tell you, it's nice. You can cool off in that. And some kids walked up and they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, can I have one?" A fan. So yeah, there were a lot of fans of the Pig Trail Nation fan, but we had a great time. So we're gonna dive into the timing. We're gonna get into the severe weather risk and take a look, man. You saw it. You saw it before we started up this Facebook Live. There's a lot of storms out there. And in fact, there's currently a tornado warning that's near Campo, Colorado. My last good daytime tornado, which was over 13 years ago. That is depressing. That's a long time. How long has it been for you, Peyton, for your last daytime tornado, your last good one?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Zach?
Never seen one.
Oh, man. We got to get you out there. After you hit the gym, we're going to get you out storm chasing.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look here. Big picture. A lot of storms. There's already, look at this, a tiny little cluster that's popping up, and this is starting to build up a little bit more, and it does have some lightning with it. It's not a lot, but we'll take a look here as we load up the radar. There, maybe it is a little more than I thought. Look at that, Peyton.
What?
That's starting to light up. That's a lot of lightning on there.
Yeah, it's gonna die.
It is.
Yeah, someone asked Colby if he's in town.
Oh,
That'll probably die out.
where is that? Was it a comment on there? Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm saying someone should ask.
Oh, yeah. Is Colby in town? Yes, he is. That storm's going to die. But let's take a look at some timing, and we'll take a look at some stuff. And first of all, here's the severe weather risk. And, yeah, we've got that severe weather risk. It's a level 1. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, level 1, that's no big deal, right? No big deal. Well, just about a week ago, tomorrow morning, we had the Mansfield tornado.
Yeah.
That came through. Josh was on it. We were watching it the night before. At some point you have to go to bed. You can't just stay up all night.
Yeah.
But we may be up for the long haul on this one. I don't think this is a major, significant severe weather event, but I do think that severe weather is possible. So, Peyton, you can tell them, and maybe we can dive into this. Why do you think there's that potential for a tornado? Like, what are some things that you were looking at?
So some things I was looking at. Well, something new that changed today as far as the big picture was the cold front came through, or the boundary came through earlier today. We saw a change in the direction of the cloud cover. I don't know if you showed that in your forecast.
Yeah.
Or not.
I showed it in the forecast.
Yeah.
Nobody's seen it on here, but check this out. This is a big change in direction here in the evening. So there's all that beautiful sunshine, which really just basically almost melted me away. And then did you see that cloud change? Watch, it's out of the west. And then you got low-level clouds that start appearing, and all of a sudden a dramatic shift. Here it comes, right around 8:30. So there's the low-level clouds. Here comes the front, and look at how that immediately changes direction from the north. Now, here's my question for you. Is this a double boundary? Because there's another boundary that's moving in, right?
Yeah, there's another boundary moving off from the west, but the reason I brought up that front coming in is we have cold air, which is cooler, or which is more dense than warm air. So that's going to thrust up all the warm air and provide more lift for storms.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a lot of this elevated convection, which is good in terms of the tornado risk. But down in the river valley, there was just so much humidity. So the level of convection is going to be a lot lower, which is why I think there could be a possible spin up as well as some other factors that played into that.
I think so. I think you're right. He looked at the 0 to 3 kilometer bulk shear. It's getting close to that threshold of 30 knots. Probably a north to south oriented line, which will show you some future track models in just a second. That's going to be favorable with the balanced updraft, downdraft convergence zone. We're just doing some fancy talk, but basically we're telling you that the ingredients are there and it's not set in stone, but there could be what we call QLCS tornado potential. Not ruling it out.
Definitely gonna have to watch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Morning. We should time that out.
Yeah, we will time it out right now. Let's take a look here at our 24-hour rain forecast. This is what people want to know. We'll look at the future track models. We'll see how good the latest HRRR is. 70% on the precipitation. Notice how it's pretty quiet, but not zero during the early morning hours. That's because that little cluster of storms, that thunderstorm's popping up pretty good. And there's plenty of humidity. So there it is, 70%. Then it drops down as we head throughout the late morning and early afternoon. Now, here's the good news, is that there's going to be some cooler weather coming. In fact, TJ says, I'm ready for this cool weather in just a couple of days. So Saturday morning, you're going to feel the cool. Oh, man, Saturday morning is going to be so nice. All right, so there's that. Let's take a look at some computer model forecasts and see what we've got. So first of all, the future track. This is the high resolution rapid refresh, most recent update, according to the weather graphics. So number one, it's showing storms popping up to our east. Is that actually happening? Not yet. Does it happen? It's possible, but I'm not sold on it. But it also isn't having that thunderstorm that's in north central Oklahoma that's underdone. So now this just keeps getting later and later and later, and it just doesn't seem right. 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I just think that's too late.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. What do you think, Peyton, on that?
Think
it's possible?
Yeah, even despite the upper level support or the stronger upper level winds that we've had, like over the past few weeks, we've had weak upper level flow. So the flow has been like 25, 30 miles per hour. And when that happens, you can read more about this in my weather blog about computer models. But when that happens, it's hard for computer models to get a handle on things and figure out where things are going to go and how they're going to develop. But now we have close to 50 mile per hour winds at upper levels. So I think they're getting a good handle on it right now as far as the intensity.
But the timing is a little off. Yeah. Timing's way off. I think judging on there's already storms that are coming into northwest Oklahoma. And that's about 4 or 5 hours away. So that's not 9, 10 o'clock.
And I'm pretty sure I know why, too, because they're not having a good handle on the temperatures. And if they're not having a good handle on temperatures, they're not going to have a good handle on winds or the pressure gradient.
Yeah.
And the pressure gradient might be tighter than what it actually is. So that's going to make storm systems move a lot faster.
There you go. That's the meteorology behind it. Now, here's what the graph model shows. And I think personally, this is something to watch. That's a backward C right there. And not C for Cookie Monster. But you'll notice here, that's some Sesame Street times. Look at that bow coming in, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I think that's a pretty good time right there. And on the southern end of the bow, what we call tail end Charlie, look at that. Something's brewing.
Go back a few frames.
Something's brewing.
Right there.
Yeah.
So right above the 82 in Fort Smith, that is the area I've been watching over the past few days for a potential spin up, because that is looked to be the balanced region. Thanks to our QLCS training that Dan has given us guys here, that has been the location of the balanced updraft, downdraft convergence zone.
Yeah.
And that's where the strongest line normal winds have been. So that's the area I've been watching for the past few days now, and that's where I think could see a spin up.
Now, here's another reason why I think the River Valley needs to watch. Now, Northwest Arkansas will still see storms. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. There's still going to be storms. There's still going to be rain. In fact, I got to go home and let some water out of the pool. I finally got the mud about 95% done. with getting the mud out. It was crazy. But anyways, that's my problem, not yours. Let's look at the temperatures here. 88 right now in Fort Smith. Let me tell you something.
That heat index.
That is some serious fuel. You ready for, before we get to the heat index, let's look at the dew point. Holy smokes. Now I'm telling you, 78 dew points can do things that we don't even expect. Mansfield, you had 78 dew points. You had mid to upper 70s, and it brought some pretty interesting stuff.
That's going to significantly bring down your level of convection.
Yeah. The base of your thunderstorms are going to be a lot lower, and that will allow that spin up potential. All right, back to the heat index.
Oh, 101.
101 at 11
11
o'clock.
Good
Holy
night.
smokes, is it hot? So we've got some fuel. Anybody in the River Valley, let me know how it's feeling. And while we're doing that, we're going to see some comments here. We'll catch up on these. Will you be in the studio all night? That's a long event. I see you got the lightning tie. Yep, we put the lightning tie on. Now, just to let you know, I don't have the big time lightning tie. I think the lightning won't be as intense as it was last Thursday into Friday. That was some serious lightning. These storms will be a little bit weaker, but there's still going to be some good cloud to ground lightning bolts. So, oh, good. I'm not too late to the party. No, you're definitely not. What's going to be like in Fort Smith, Arkansas tomorrow morning? Well, we've been talking about that, Chris, and I'm sure your comment came about 10 minutes ago. How about Rachel? My hair is super crazy. It looked like my hair was super crazy on the air tonight. It was all over the place. I had standing up hair, and I was just like, I took a couple of selfies with some people, including the next American Ninja Warrior that's going to be on the TV.
Heck yeah.
That
Love
is so
show.
cool. I love that show. We've got someone that's local here. His name is Joseph, and he is going to rock it. So I don't know how he did. He couldn't tell me. He just says that,
Oh,
yeah, we got the semifinals.
spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. He wouldn't do it. I tried to pump him for information. And, by the way, he hung on that little
The hangboard.
the
out
hangboard
there.
thing. How long do you think he hung on that?
I'm going to go with longer than Chad for sure.
1 minute and 48 seconds. And he was like doing pull-ups on it.
they were
And
Oh,
then-
you're showing
I like
off.
that.
And then he like just let go because he was like, I could go longer.
It's too easy.
It's too easy.
That's funny.
It's too easy. If you watched our show, Gully Park Summer Concert Series, they had Boulders and Brews, which is a place where you can do some rock climbing. It's pretty cool.
Just across the street, actually.
Oh, nice. Okay. What do you think August is going to be like? Oh, Layla. Oh, Layla. You're not going to like the early part of August. Layla, you got me on my knees, Layla. Boom, boom, boom. It's Eric Clapton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Layla. You're not going to like this. This heat's going to have you on your knees. Check this out here. 6 to 10 day outlook, much warmer than normal. Okay, so we know that's happening. Now, just to let you know, when we read these outlooks, it's not the red is indicating how hot it's going to get. It's not the temperature forecast. What it is, though, is it's showing you the probability of being above normal. That doesn't tell you how much above normal, but typically when the probability is pretty good, then you do have much warmer than normal temperatures. But I think that's definitely going to be the case. We're going to be rather warm. Now look at the, we're going to have to remove that. Warmer than normal. It's going to be, look at the bullseye. That's right over us. Now this takes you into early part of August. So Layla, we got some hot weather that's coming, and it's going to last quite a while. What's shaking, Vance? Hope you're doing well. That's my former next door neighbor. Used to live in our neighborhood. Still a buddy of ours. It's going to be a super cool weekend. Boy, the weekend's going to be so nice.
Yeah.
Let me show you why it's going to be so nice. And then we'll get back to some storm timing. Really, honestly, all the models are trash, so there's no reason to even look at it. But we're going to look at some meso-analysis too. I want to show you the dew point and how it drops. So here is a forecast. Take it with a grain of salt, but here's a forecast on the dew points. Now watch this. They're pooling ahead of the front. We can see that moisture pooling ahead. Now the dew points only show 75, but we're already at 78. I don't see how it drops. There's not going to be any mixing that occurs. I don't see it dropping much during the overnight hours. But look at the boundary right there. That's the thunderstorms rolling in, and look at how much moisture it has to tap into. What are the precipitable waters, Zach?
Oh, I looked at it
Okay.
just a minute ago.
Okay.
While you were doing the 10, I was
Yeah.
telling Zach,
What do we got?
2.
2? That's some heavy rain.
2.4, like,
So, oh wow,
Yeah.
2.1. That's some
2.1.
serious rain in the river valley. So, what it is, precipitable water, it's not telling you how much it's going to rain, but it's essentially how much precipitation would happen if you condensed the column of air out completely and turned it into
how much water did that ShamWow soak up?
Yeah.
And wring out?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the sham. Wow, hey, we're going back old school. I like it. All right, back to this. This is what you're gonna love. So we got dew points that are dropping 7 a.m. in the morning, mid 60s. So you can see the dew points starting to drop. But this is where the awesomeness happens. Friday is still going to be a little humid. You're going to be like, wait a minute, I thought it was supposed to be cooler. Well, watch what happens Friday evening. Here's that push of drier air. Saturday morning. Oh,
I saw
yeah.
some 50s.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see 50s?
Some
Let's go
dry
back
air.
here. Oh, 55. Look at that. So we might have lows, maybe potentially some places in the upper 50s. And there could be some fog too.
Yeah.
Saturday morning. Be on the lookout for that. And then Saturday afternoon, yes.
Heat index who?
Yeah. Look at that, 59 for the dew
Nice.
point. So we've definitely got a big time drop in moisture and humidity, and the temperatures will be dropping as well. So we can enjoy that. If we look at the 2-day forecast timeline, you'll see the temperature is definitely dropping. Boy, I got to clean up my show. I keep adding stuff. And so let's go here. Where are you? Here we go. 2-day forecast timeline for the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. We'll start off with Northwest Arkansas. There we go. We hit about 80 degrees tomorrow, so it will be cooler. There's going to be a lot of cloud cover. That's going to be sticking around for a while. And then look at the morning lows Saturday, and then we'll take our camera off the screen here so you can see the whole thing. We're looking at mid 80s, lower to middle 80s. Now, that might sound warm, but it'll feel like probably 78, 79. Oh, it's going to be nice. All right, so back to, you can tell I'm excited about a lower humidity. That's going to be awesome. Let's take a look here at the River Valley forecast. It's similar. There's not much of a change. Temperatures will be a little warmer. And on top of that, we also got a little chance of precipitation popping up in the early morning hours on Saturday. So that's a little bit of a change. So here you go. Rain, storm chances there in the morning. Saturday, early morning, maybe a little 20%. It's actually in between hours on this, but there's mid to upper 80s that you can see happening for Saturday afternoon. So some nice weather, so not too shabby. All right. I'm so ready for cooler weather, Rebecca says. Lifeguarding Saturday. Like I said, though, next week, it's going to be brutal.
Yeah,
It's going to be brutal. How's it going to be in Rogers? My kid have an appointment at 8 a.m. So what do you think about Rogers at 8 a.m.? I think storms are going to be on the outs at that time, but still could be lingering. What do you think, Zach?
I think it could be lingering, but definitely weakening at that
Yeah.
point. And again, I think the big severe storm threat is more in the River Valley area for tomorrow morning.
But we still see thunderstorms, don't we?
Definitely
Yeah.
see thunderstorms, chances for the whole area. But yeah, 8 a.m. should be a weakening trend, so not too worried about that time frame.
Another thing I don't like for the tornado potential, and what I mean by that is increasing the tornado potential. This is an MCV that's developing.
Yeah.
MCV stands for mesoscale convective vortex. You can see it developing. It's a low pressure system. Look at the counterclockwise spin. And by the way, just to the east of that MCV, you've got a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. So that shows you there's a little bit more push. There's a little bit more oomph. And the thing is, the models don't depict that. They don't show that. They can't get that right. And that's why I think the HRRR is too slow. It's too slow with the timing. I'm looking at this. Well, here's what we can do. We can let's do some extrapolating. And let's take it over time and see what time it actually does show up. That's the best way to do it. That's looking out the window. That's not looking at computer model data.
I'll get you the
Yeah.
the ocean.
Okay.
45 knots.
45 knots or miles per hour.
Knots.
Oh.
53.
So let's
53 miles per hour.
you want to go like 50 then on this if it accelerates. That's pretty fast. Let's go 45. Let's just take an average just in case it does slow down a little bit. All right, so we're taking on the leading edge of that line. There it is, 7 o'clock in the morning. Take the screen off, get to see the timing. Now this is all if no other additional storms pop up. And there's your timing moving into Northwest Arkansas. Springfield, which Southwest Missouri, 6:15, a little earlier. And then the line kind of hangs back a little bit in Fayetteville. It seems a little weird that that's that much of a difference, but I guess it kind of is. Fayetteville at 7:10. So maybe a little later in Fort Smith, maybe around 8 to 9.
Yeah, I think it's because the top part of that kind of slows down.
Yeah.
And
And the middle
starts
part
to-
of it.
the whole thing kind of starts to tilt and then swing back through.
Now look, here's the low. I'm going to draw it on here so you can see it. This is the mesoscale convective vortex. There's the low. If we let's do a 3-hour loop and just change it here. So you're going to see that spin start to develop. There it is. So you can see some of these storms that are kind of rotating around this like that. And you got some of these storms that are rotating around that. And that looks like a developing MCV. It's in its infant stages of development. So that's a look at the timing there. Thank you so much, Charles. If you're still on here, why does the storms get more intense when they hit the river valley? Well, we showed that with the temperatures. So you saw how much warmer and how much muggier it is. It is so muggy in South Fort Smith. Now, Kim, you can let us know. Did it feel like that on Friday morning, yesterday morning, or a week ago, tomorrow morning? So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did it feel like that last Thursday night?
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a much better way to say that. A week ago tomorrow, that's like, yeah, that's stupid. Chris says, wow, heat index 101.
Yeah.
What's the timing for Southwest Missouri, like Joplin? Oh, we just showed that, Deanna. So you got to see that. My boyfriend works in Fort Smith during the week and hates the heat. I can tell you this next week's going to be brutal. Main threats with this line of storm. Great question. I think it's going to be damaging winds. We'll show you that. We'll look at the risk. Damaging winds, maybe a little bit of hail, but I think wind is going to be the main threat, and then tornado is a non-zero threat.
Yeah.
So there's a look. Now, here's what's interesting about this. We look at the Storm Prediction Center, and I'm going to show you the tornado potential. It's non-existent for us. But I think this is more of the supercell tornado variety. I've kind of noticed that these 2% tornado threats are a lot more supercellular tornado potential and not as much QLCS tornado potential. And that's what we get. And I'm not saying that SPC doesn't know about it, but there's MCVs. There was not, I don't believe, a 2% in Mansfield with the tornado
I don't
last
think so.
Friday.
Definitely not.
No lightning tie. Oh no, Alex. We got the lightning tie on big time. That's the bright lightning right there. So there's going to be some good cloudy ground lightning strikes. Also, Jade, another threat is going to be the flash flooding potential. So we do have a level 2. That's been upped quite a bit from a couple of days ago. And this just means some scattered flash flooding is possible. Look at what they did too. They took a moderate now for flooding. Just because of those storms and how much they're intensifying. So we'll take a look at some rain totals. I'm thinking around 1 inch to 2 inches, maybe a little bit more, especially with some of these higher totals. So,
Yeah, I'm thinking like 1.3.
Yeah.
Northwest Arkansas, maybe 8/800ths to an inch in the River Valley.
oh, here we go. PBR rodeo evening. Beautiful. Great weather for the rodeo tomorrow. You're going to love it.
That sounds like a fun idea.
Yeah. Wow, the PBR. That's the professional bull riders.
Yeah.
Now, is that at Parsons Stadium? It's got to be in Springdale. Parsons Stadium. Let me know. Huh. Love that Eric Clapton, Derek, and the Dominoes reference. Heck yeah. Death Ridge staring us down,
Yeah.
dry and hot.
Death Ridge.
Is El Nino living up to its expectations? I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's like kind of minor, kind of starting to settle in there. It's not super intense, but it's definitely driving the northwest flow pattern that we see.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Hopefully the weather will be nice on August 2nd. Got to fly out. Looks like it's going to be nice. All right.
I think so. Yeah.
Looks like you'll need to take a lot of runway to get up off the ground. That warm, very hot air is very not very dense.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of speed for planes to get up off the ground, especially with all my wife's luggage. Time to put a pool in, says Anna. Well, if you do that, make sure you have a good drainage for storm runoff. That's July and August for you. Dog days of summer. You guys actually know why it's called the dog days of summer?
No.
Okay, so there is a star called Sirius,
Yeah.
Sirius XM. You've heard of that, right?
Yep.
What's
Heard of the star.
what's the logo for Sirius XM?
It's a dog, right?
It's a dog.
Yeah.
That's right. Because Sirius XM is in Ursa Major, which is the big dog, and that is that typically is up in the summertime. Sirius is a star that kind of glimmers and flickers, and so they call it the dog days of summer because you have Ursa Major, which is the dog. It's usually up in the summer, and that's got Sirius, the star. So that's how they came up with the dog days of summer.
I
That
thought it
cool?
was just like because dollars are paying. It
That
was a lot simpler than that.
That true. That's as well. But anyways, there you learned about that. The dog days of summer.
Astronomy lesson with Dan Scott.
Yeah. Or I actually said Ursa Major. I think it's Canaan Major or something like that. I actually said the wrong one, the wrong constellation. It's late though. Check that for me real quick because I want to give people
All right.
wrong information. I think it's Canaan Major is what Sirius is in. So let's ask Siri, right? Let's see. Canis Major, I want to say. What constellation is
It's
Sirius in?
It's Canis Major.
It is? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Canis Major.
According
Which,
to Google.
which Canis is a dog. So anyways,
Yeah, that makes sense.
apologize for that. Ursa Major, not that. Hot temps call for use of less charcoal. That's a
That's
good
true.
point. Hey, let's bring on the heat. Maybe a couple of campfire tomorrow night. Oh man, that's gonna be some good. Saturday night, I think humidity will still be held at bay.
Yeah.
But boy, it does come back pretty quick. So, all right, let's see here. 11:06. We're getting close to our comments and getting caught up. I'm camping in Cassville, Missouri. Anything I should be worried about tonight? Yes, I think so,
Yeah.
including heavy rain potential. Cassville, Missouri is right in the heart of those storms. Let's show you some of the rain totals that are expected. Different models have different things. Keep that in mind. But we are taking a look at the potential for some heavy rain. Hi, Graph. Would you like to put it up? 1/100th of an inch in Fort Smith.
Yeah, that's
Boy.
not true.
Yeah, well, anyways, European doesn't show much more, but look at Russellville, 2.5 inches. So storms just magically disappear.
And then reappear.
GFS, garbage forecast system, and the NAM. So now what's interesting is it doesn't show much in Southwest Missouri. And I think that the track of these storms will clip Southwest Missouri, but I don't think as much as they did this morning. So, yeah, you might be on to something there. Let's see. Just doesn't seem right. I don't know. Looks to me like that's coming this way. And with that MCV. Now, granted, the severity of the storms will be a little less, but anytime you have lightning when you're camping,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Gotta
mix.
Gotta watch out.
Yeah, so don't stand under a tree or don't put a tent under a tree.
Kind of hard to do in the woods.
Yeah, I know. That's why, and that's why camping's not a good idea. Well, look at all that lightning that popped up. Let's see if there's any negative and positive. Ooh,
Oh,
a lot of positive lightning. It's actually a pretty decent little storm. Let's flip on Mega Doppler and take a look at that because right now we're just looking at these.
Oh, you got
storms.
it?
Yeah, yep, he's
Yeah.
got it. All right, let's see what else we got.
So I'll switch here first.
Aloft, the
Winds.
air looked a little soupy the past couple of days. Don't think I'll take that much. Yeah, don't think it'll take much. It's soupy for sure. Let's
loading.
see here. Why doesn't SPC outline a 1% tornado risk? They just don't do that. They do 2%, and that's it. Nick Bower, I'll be at Roaring River this weekend. Yeah, that is awesome. You ever been there?
No.
Where?
Roaring River?
No, I
That's
haven't.
pretty cool. There's also a place in Cassville where you've got roaring. It's a water slide. It's a really fun water slide in Cassville in Southwest
All
Missouri.
right. Mega Dopplers up.
Okay. Mega Doppler loaded. There's the storm. Already has some hail too with it.
Yeah.
So bring up that lightning.
Oh, lightning.
Yeah. There we go. It's going to load up. Yeah. Definitely lightning on that. What's the top like? You just looked at it, but I missed it. Echo top.
Oh, the Echo Top.
Holy smokes. Yeah, that's a big storm.
55,000 feet.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's why
Very
you
tall.
can't discount anything in this type of humidity.
Yep. Especially when those storms are coming off the Rockies as they come downhill. You got warming, so then they can expand, just erupt.
Yeah. Do they bump up the risk area to get closer? The severe weather threat doesn't make sense. If I remember correctly, we were in a level 1 out of 5, and then Fort Smith got whacked. Exactly.
Exactly.
Now, level 1 doesn't mean no severe weather. It just means that the amount of severe weather will be less. The coverage will be less. The probability of seeing severe weather will be less. Fort Smith is still in that level 1 risk. The reason that I don't think they have it any farther south is because the track of the storms is expected to be right through the heart of our weather coverage area. So
Yeah.
let's see here. Dan is back. Yeah. Didn't go anywhere.
Welcome back, Dan.
Hey, thank you. We walked on the moon today, 54 years ago. Very cool.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Wait a minute. You know what? July, that's right. The moon landing 54 years ago, because guess what? This is cool. I was at Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral on the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. So I was actually at NASA and at the it was really a cool trip
Yeah, I can imagine.
in Cocoa Beach. It was packed, by the way. I didn't realize it was the 50th when we booked it, but it was a pretty cool time. All right, Tuesday night, I was actually in the country northwest of Lee Creek by State Line, laying in the pool, watching the stars for a couple hours. Felt really good and relaxing. It did. Right now, it's pretty crazy. So looks like SPC is considering a replacement severe thunderstorm watch that extends further into central Oklahoma. We could look at that by looking at the mesoscale discussion. Here is the newest MCD. So here's the area that they're considering that severe thunderstorm risk. Because right now, I don't think they have that severe thunderstorm risk reaching all the way out there. Are a couple tornado warnings again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. So tornado warning there. Guess what? That's right by the what? The MCV.
Oh, yeah.
That's right at the MCV.
Yeah. That spin.
Sometimes these guys don't follow me.
No, I thought you were going for like a national landmark. Or
because
something.
I'm
I was
all,
like,
yeah, I know. I'm all over the place. I don't
What's
blame
out
you.
there?
I was
Yeah.
trying to think what's in Dodge City.
The MCV, baby.
Yeah.
There's another tornado warning. So here's an example of a 2% tornado threat that's kind of really overproducing. And you know why? It's doing it because of the MCV, the mesoscale convective vortex. So what does that do? That enhances the shear. It enhances the low-level flow. It does all that stuff. And that's exactly where the MCV is. In fact, looks like that's bowing out. Hey, we should look up QLCS on, if you want to, the 0.3 kilometer bulk shear vector and see if that's a perfectly line normal component.
I think it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? 40?
30 knots.
Huh?
30.
Can't really.
Take
Now
off the
there's-
radar.
Yeah.
You can go to radar none. Okay, so this is okay. And now what you can do is zoom in.
Storms are right here.
Oh, I guess it's.
Oh, it's not really line normal, huh?
Yeah.
0 to 3 kilometer.
But the shear is sure strong.
It's sure stronger there.
35
Yeah.
knots.
All right, coming in late. How's the weather looking for Siloam Springs? So, this was just a few minutes ago, so not too long of a comment ago. All right, so first of all, we got some thunderstorms or a thunderstorm that's popping up to our northwest by Pawhuska. If we put that into motion, it is moving east southeast. I don't know if it's going to hold together. I think it does because we have plenty of fuel. We have energy. And this storm's kind of taken off a little bit. Well, maybe it looks like it might be
Yeah, I think it's weakening.
starting to get choked off, maybe
Yeah.
just because the
I
upper
think.
level support isn't quite here.
It's a little bit weaker.
Yeah, it does look a little weaker. Let's see if the top is listening too. Yeah, still going, but it is a little weaker. So Siloam Springs, I think some storms start rolling in 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. We're going to take a look at some timing here, going back to. We're just kind of geeking out, looking at some mesoanalysis stuff. So here's a look at the timing with the HRRR, which I think is too slow, so I don't even really want to show that. I'll show the graph 3 kilometer. So here's the graph 4 kilometer. I don't want to show that. I'll show the graph 3 kilometer. Here's the graph 3 kilometer. Stand by, coming up. All right, so still doesn't have that storm though in northeast Oklahoma, so it's missing that in Osage County. But now what happened? Now it's got it even later. So there's the storms right about 6,
It's moved a little more
7
south, too.
o'clock. It did move it a little more south.
Right.
This is the latest update. Van Buren, you need to watch out. Literally naming the city here. But there's a look at that line that comes in. Now that's what we call a bow echo. That's backwards C. So I can tell you this, that has the potential to be some pretty strong winds.
Not on your show.
Yeah, I know. So I can't do it. But see how this is like a backwards C? So that backwards C, it's not gonna let me do it, is the apex of the bow where the wind energy is getting transferred. So again, around 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, there's going to be some storms, and some storms means some heavy rain, some gusty winds.
As far as hail, penny to dime.
Yeah.
Honestly, pea to dime. Pea size to dime size.
Now it could be a little wind driven too, so it might be a little louder than what it normally is. Let's show you the 1 day timing graph. So this is for all in Northwest Arkansas. Okay, here we go. So 70%, you can see the chance of storms. That's your timing. That's your most likely timing that we've adjusted. Do I need to wrap my pooch with his thunder vest tonight? Does he have a thunder vest? Be pretty cool. See
I've heard
that.
those work pretty well.
David Bailey says it'll die out right before Northwest Arkansas. Probably. Honestly. Do you think a watch will get issued? I do. I think a watch gets issued. Roaring River is said to be one of the hottest spots regionally. I don't know. That's a good question. Honestly, I really don't know about that, but I know the river is cold, and I know it's awesome. Living in an RV now, sold our place in the storm shelter. Storms make me nervous. Boy, I can imagine. I'll be watching for the Cooper Elementary camera. Okay, we will do that. I think the farther north you go, you'll get some storms, but I think the energy is going to be farther south. I mentioned this before, but for some that are just hopping on here, look at the difference between Northwest Arkansas to the River Valley. So you got 79 in Fayetteville, 88 in Fort Smith. You ready for this heat index? At 1125, you see that pink area, 101 is the heat index. That's what it feels like right now. And that heat index is calculated in the shade clearly because the sun isn't even up. So this is all shade. Where do you think a severe thunderstorm watch sets up? Okay, we can do that. I'll do a little outline. We'll do that here. I just want to get caught up. Any chance anything tonight before the morning round? Yeah, it's possible, but I think if it does happen, it would be around 3 o'clock in the morning. If there is anything, you're doubtful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan. Love seeing my hometown of Dodge City, actually Lewis, Kansas, on your podcast. Cool, Thomas. That MCV will be something to watch out in Western Oklahoma. I think you might have met one in Western Kansas, but maybe there's one in Western Oklahoma too. Let's see.
There is, like in the Panhandle.
Yeah,
It's like a miniature.
Is there?
Yeah.
let's see here. Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me take all this up. So, enhanced to shear temporarily leading to the damaging tornado on a fairly low. Not the entire same forecast, but the small environment details can make a big difference. They can.
Definitely.
Absolutely. There you go. That's a good thing to remember. Straight line damaging winds can cause just about bad damage as a tornado and can be just as loud. It can. You can hear that roar. Not a derecho. No, I don't think we have a derecho. If we do, it would be a surprise derecho. What do you think? Just don't think.
Nah, I don't.
Morgan, we can do that. If you're just jumping on, it's just a minute that you've been on, so we'll do that. I can see you're glad to be back and working. Are you going home tonight? Yes, I will be going home briefly, and I will be watching the radar very closely. Look at the tornado warning. I'll be watching it for the in-laws too. Golly, tornado warning now west of Guyman. So that's in the Texas Panhandle, the Oklahoma Panhandle, moving into the Texas Panhandle. So the in-laws are definitely there. Look at all those tornado warnings, guys. It's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Hey, let's look at water vapor. It's always a great idea, and then I'll draw my watch what I think is going to happen. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a lot of energy. Look at that coming in. Boom.
Wow.
That's an explosion of storms.
Jeez.
So the mean flow is going to take it east-southeast.
And that flow is just seems like it's getting stronger. I mean, look at it in the
Yeah.
loop. It seems like the easterly component is dominating.
Oh, it's definitely increased. Let's look at the high-resolution water vapor imagery.
So it's like taking all the energy that's held in Oklahoma right now and pushing it into us.
Yeah. So there you got it. Big explosion of storms. Now, what about that one cell that was it? That's pretty good. That's not bad.
A little engine that could.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But-
Colby will take care of that.
What can I ask you this? What's the mesosector? I've been so busy I haven't seen. Do we have the mesosector over us right now on
Oh.
GOES?
Oh, the floater.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like what's our floater? Look at that. That's actually a
find
pretty
out.
stout storm. Boy, you can really see that upper level energy moving in, and that's exactly when that storm blew up. Isn't that cool?
What?
Well, look, here's the storm, here's the anvil that comes overhead,
Yeah.
showing that upper level support. And as soon as that crosses over in northeast Oklahoma, boom, there's a storm that blows out ahead of it. So that's that little subtle
Right,
wave.
good.
That's that little subtle wave that can do it. Just enough, because we are fairly unstable. What is our instability right now? Cape has got to be like what,
I think it was
3,000?
4,000. Like just before the 10, it was 3,000. I mean 4,000.
Pretty high winds early morning. That's right. Tornado chance for Northwest Arkansas is not zero. I'm never going to say it's zero. It's not expected, but it's not zero. Here, I want to do something. real
3 to
quick.
4,000.
Okay, I want to take this. I want to zoom in just a little bit so people can see. There we go. Just a little bit closer so we can see. Tornado for Northwest Arkansas. Not the greatest. So what's that green area in the water vapor? Those are extremely cold cloud tops. Let's see if we can get that out west.
Yeah, that just means they're extremely high, and I think depending on the color table, probably
Oh, right there. Yeah.
negative 50
Oh, yeah.
Celsius. I think
Check this out, TJ. We'll show you.
that's crazy. I've never seen green on
Boom.
this water vapor.
Wow, that's a lot of green. Yeah. Now the color table's a little different, I guess, for the high res.
Yeah,
It doesn't show the green, but it does show purple.
yeah, just a slight difference.
Let me see
I
what.
barely noticed it.
I love this color table. for
Sure,
the
I'll
colors
take
of the
Mega Doppler
page.
out there, and I will see how high storms are out there.
Okay. Sounds like a plan, and we'll keep an eye on that one.
I'm gonna be like 80,000 feet.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, that's infrared. Look at this mid-level water vapor. Yeah. All right. Tornado potential around Ozark. The kids are staying with their grandparents tonight. You know, Stormy, oddly enough, it's going to be stormy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something that we have to watch for sure. And, you know, we had the question here, what are the dew points? We showed that, but you might just be jumping on. It's up there. In Northwest Arkansas, David, we've got mid 70s. Thank God the Springdale sensor went down because
Like
it
90.
stops after 7 o'clock. Here's the dew points in the River Valley, 78 and 79. That's fuel, folks.
Yeah.
That's a tremendous amount of fuel. That is some really, really intense fuel for thunderstorms. All right. Oh, it'll no doubt be a severe thunderstorm watch. There's no way that they go tornado watch. What do you think? I would be floored and surprised if they went tornado
I think
watch.
definitely a severe storm.
Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's coming. I think the severe thunderstorm watch is going to come out around, I want to say 4 a.m.
Mm.
4 a.m. and it'll go to about 10 or 11.
Probably in about 2 hours. I think the shift change is the night shift folks are already in there, or they will be in there around midnight. I think probably around 6Z, so hour and a half. So we'll have a new one.
Yeah.
About 1, 2 o'clock.
You think they'll issue it that far out ahead though for us? Because our timing is going to be a little later. That's why I was just thinking maybe a little later.
They've been issuing those heat advisories at like 3:30. So
Well, but yeah,
Probably do.
the severe thunderstorm watch comes from the Storm Prediction Center though. So it's
Oh,
a different
Yeah.
yeah. It's different. But here's a look at okay, so let's take a look at the timing here. This is what I think the watch is going to look like. Don't mind the arrow. I don't know if it's going to go that far into Little Rock. I think it's going to be like maybe a little farther north. I'll take it a little farther north. It'll kind of be a skinnier one, but that's what I think the watch is going to be like. So if I do this, because there's going to be another watch, and then they're going to overlay that, and then I think that's what the watch box is going to look like. What do you think, Peyton? No, not happening.
I think
Southwest Missouri a little
it'll
more.
look a little different.
Okay, he's going to adjust it to what he thinks.
Well, typically they're always like vertical like this. Like you can see off in the top left how they're like vertical. So I think
Yeah,
it'll be whoops. Actually that works.
you're all right. That works. Yeah, or you could just. But aren't the storms moving northwest to southeast?
Yeah, they are. I drew that
Yeah.
in the wrong direction, but
But as far as it's a similar. It's a similar.
like it's
thing.
gonna be
Yeah.
the entire coverage area.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, storms are definitely coming. Looks like we can get some rain tonight. That pretty much sums up everything we said in one sentence. Yeah, it does look like we're getting rain tonight. Let's take a look here at some newer computer models. Okay, so we got the latest HRRR. Looks like we might even get some cloud cover before they come. That's right. Those are going to be the anvils from the storms that are spreading over. In fact, already almost knocking on our doorstep. Here's a look at the HRRR, and it just really doesn't do that storm justice. I mean, it's not super intense, but it was a thunderstorm.
Oh, that little guy.
A little engine that's good is
He
getting
is,
choked off.
he's weakening.
She got choked off. So this just looks weird to me. I just think it's too late.
Whoa.
Now it's not as late as it was, though. It says 10 a.m.
It's like a full-blown MCS. Right
It is a full, and then look at the MCV. Even the high resolution radar data is starting to pick up on this. So watch as I put pause here. Can you see that low that's embedded in this? Look at that. There's the MCV. You can almost see the curling.
Yeah, it looks like a mini hurricane.
Yeah.
Like a land hurricane.
Kind of
Some
does.
people call 'em.
So this is like an MCV. Whoops.
Should use that to draw the outlook.
Let me go back here. Well, it does, yeah. It's a closed line. That'll work. Let's go here. Let's go to Arrowhead. So it's going to be like this. Hello. Probably just a little bit. If you're vacuuming, a little bit later. We're almost done with this live report, but we're just giving some weather information. Yeah, I think 20 minutes. 20 minutes sounds good. No lightning, please. Thumbs down. He really doesn't want lightning. He's got thumbs down on that. I think there is going to be some lightning. In fact, bring up Mega Doppler again, because Mega Doppler will show lightning everywhere. So let's zoom out, and where does it show for lightning? Go to Dodge City here real quick.
They're pretty active.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be some lightning. I have a robot vacuuming the pool I work at in Garfield. Before what time will I need to take it out to avoid lightning? Hey, actually, I was looking at a robot vacuum today. They are not cheap, number one. And number two, I would probably pull it out by about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. HRRR tends to downplay sudden development if it didn't account for it and eliminate it entirely. Yeah, I would agree with that. HRRR just really hasn't been my favorite model lately, for sure. Really, no model has been my favorite. Well, we're about to not have storms anymore. Yep, weather radio is going to go off tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah.
So be ready for that. How's Mountain Home looking? Good question. Mountain Home is kind of a little bit on the northern edge of that complex. In fact, you can see it according to this model. Now take this with a grain of salt, Eric, but I think the severity of the storms in north central Arkansas is going to be a little less.
Yeah, but for Mountain Home, I think some gusty winds and some pretty good strong downpour.
Yeah. So how much rain are we talking about? It's a good question. We'll take a look at some model rain totals for the shorter range. And let's look at this here. This is Northwest Arkansas and River Valley. Notice how nothing's happening. And remember, the timing might be a little off, but it gives you an idea that there's going to be, an inch and a half is no slouch of a rain event. That happens pretty quick. But it's going to be localized. There's going to be some flooding here and there. Let's look at the graph. The graph had that pretty strong line of storms. Here's a kind of a zoomed in view. And look at Eureka Springs. There's a possibility that there's going to be places that receive some really heavy rain. So just letting you know that that's not out of the question. Here's another look. That doesn't have anything in Fort Smith. That's weird. That's not right. That's not right at all. And what time do I think it's going to be moving out? I think it's going to be moving out around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Maybe around noon at the latest. Noon at the latest. Yeah, I think more likely 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. We do have a timing graphic that I showed earlier in the newscast. I haven't shown you yet today, but I think it kind of sums up the timing. It has a little bit of a window of overlap essentially. So here's a look at that storm timing. The lighter blue, kind of like whitish blue, is 3 to 6 a.m. Might be a little earlier on that. It might be a little too early, but we were kind of accounting for maybe an isolated pop-up storm that develops. 6 to 9 a.m. is right through central northwest Arkansas. And then you see 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. There's going to be some stratiform rain, but this is the main strongest line of storms that comes through. So I think all the rain will be out of here as we head into the afternoon. And so there's a look at it. Still a few lingering showers that could remain, and that's why we just can't completely drop it off. But definitely a quick bump up in the storm potential, 5 to 9 a.m., and then it drops off pretty dramatically. Storms in the Oklahoma Panhandle look nasty. Long night for western Oklahoma, western Kansas. Yeah. Go to that one by Guyman. That's headed right for Booker. And I don't like that at all. Take off the lightning if you can real quick. Man, those are isolated sups, man. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mountainburg. Well, we definitely include Mountainburg.
Oh, yeah, that's where I think somewhere between there and Van Buren is where I've been thinking there's going to be a spin up for like 3 days now.
Yeah. Now, there were some other conclusions that you came to. What were the reasoning behind that? What was some of the stuff that you were looking at?
So, based on a lot of our QLCS training, that it just makes you see QLCS events in a different light.
It's like eye-opening.
It
man.
really is.
Yeah.
You see it through a different eye, and
I talk with
third
my
eye or
hands too
something.
much. Yeah.
But it's where the most balanced region. It's where, as we see now, all the humidity is. The heat index was 101, so atmosphere is primed for storms. It's got a lot of fuel, and it has the upper level support. So yeah,
And the shear's cranking back
and the
up.
shear is
Yeah.
going to be good. And as soon as the low level jet kicks in,
MCV is going to enhance that. What about Bella Vista? I don't see Bella Vista really receiving that. I'm not saying it's zero, but I would say it's lower.
yeah, definitely lower. It's going to be in the northern end, so that's where you're going to have possibly those damaging winds, gusts probably 40, 50, even 60 miles per hour. And the dime to pea-sized hail, so it won't be a hailer.
Jennifer, we were actually reliving the Mountainburg tornado on April 13th, 2018, not too long ago. We were looking at the coverage and all that stuff, and yeah, there's a bunch of stuff happening. I know. Yeah, what I'm trying to do is stop the camera from moving and focusing on me, and then it like gets everybody else out of there. Because we're a weather team, man. We all are putting into the work together. We're all looking at it. We're all analyzing it. 3 heads are better than 1, that's for sure. And then you got 4 people that's dominant right there. Domination.
Oh yeah.
So as Reed Timmer would say, dominate, 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 dominate. Right?
Yeah.
So the tornado potential is increasing. I think it's increasing more than what it shows. And I'm not saying it's going to be widespread tornado potential, but I'm just saying we can't let our guard down. Lucky to have missed that tornado. Wow. That was really crazy. That tornado happened in the afternoon. It was close to rush hour. It was about 3:30 in the afternoon, Friday the 13th too. But
Was that the video of like the person in the car?
Yep.
Driving down the road?
Getting pulled off with the trailer.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
that?
That was that. That was the Mountainburg
Oh, wow.
tornado. Hit exit 29,
crazy.
Jennifer. So that was it was crazy. Oh, Jeremy. I thought you were already on though. I saw you commenting a little while ago. So for those that haven't seen the 7-day, let's give you the 7-day forecast because we got to let you know about that. And then I think we're going to start winding it down. But here's a look at 7-day forecast, 81 degrees tomorrow. Maybe some places upper 70s because the cloud cover and the rain's going to be abundant, and that front comes through pretty strong. Okay, I got you. I saw a comment here. That was my brother, Joshua. Okay, but there's the temperatures. Now, mid-80s sounds a lot, but look at the morning low. 60 degrees. Dew points will be possibly in the 50s. So, I mean, we're talking some much drier air. However, it is going to be heating up again. Heating up.
It's gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, this is a long-lived heat wave. All the other heat waves we had, which is like I think two, we had two major heat waves that were very short-lived.
Like 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, that's it, and then it cooled off. So
it's
we're gonna
be
have
2
an
to 3
issue here.
weeks.
Come back.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as hot as like 2011, 2012.
Oh,
There's
no,
going to be
no.
multiple days of potential triple-digit heat in the River Valley. Speaking of the River Valley, let's show you that forecast. Intense heat wave. Much cooler too over the weekend. So 90 is still better than 97, 98, and lower humidity, but not quite as low as Northwest Arkansas. So Alex says, hey, at least the models somewhat agree with the line of storms for once. The RFS, has it updated lately? I only
No,
saw it had a
it's still
6Z
stuck on the
update.
6Z. I don't know if they're trying to do some last minute maintenance
Come on,
for
Rufus.
what today. But yeah,
Oh. Jeremy says we had that temperature of 115. What was the heat index that day? So if I remember correctly, the heat index wasn't a bunch over that because it was really it was dry. That's how it was allowed to heat up so much.
What time was this?
What?
The 115.
That was temperature 115, August 3rd of 2011.
Fort Smith.
Yep.
Oh, that's hot.
Whoa. That's hot. Will Smith.
That's hot.
That's hot.
That's hot.
That's hot. Subscribe to Dan on YouTube free and make sure notifications are enabled. Yeah, there you go. Rogers have tornado? I don't think so. It's possible. We'll be watching it. All depends on where that line happens. Roby, I know you were tuning in to Josh's live with Riley Bell. Couldn't think of the name there for a second. I'm guessing you guys will take a break. Yeah, we're not going all the way through to watch these storms.
Yeah, no, I'll probably come back 3 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
About Josh, and because I've babysat this thing for a couple days now.
He's watching it. He's geared up.
So yeah.
Zach,
I'll be
what's your
here 3 or 4
plans?
o'clock.
Gym.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Go to the gym and come back.
Is the gym
for the
closed
sick
tonight?
pump.
Oh, it's closed Friday night.
Yeah, it's close to Friday night.
I think you're sore though, aren't you?
you're never too sore.
I love it. What else? Think we're good?
Yeah, I just sit and wait.
I think we're all good. I'm going to tell you what the temperature was on that day. You want to look at SCASIS here? Stand by. This will just take a little bit, but we're going to look at so we're going to look at extremes. Actually, no, we're not going to look at extremes. We're going to look at daily data for the month. Daily data listing. We're going to do max temp, min temp. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to select dates. We go 2011. I'm just doing something behind the scenes here. May, and we're going to go all the way through September of 2011. Done. All right. So then we can go there, station access, KFSM. And no, it was August 3rd, 2011. And continue with HTML. Here we go. Processing. So max temp, not too bad in May.
Seeing a lot of
there it
triple
is.
digits.
August 3rd. Look at that.
Right on the money.
Right on the money.
What was the dew point? Doesn't tell you.
It's a
It
good
doesn't.
question. I could maybe go back and look at that. A good option
115
selections.
now.
Be tough.
Oh, I didn't. But we can do that by going to Wonderground.
Underreact.
Yep. I know you can't see any of this. We're just doing some stuff behind the scenes. We'll show you here if we get it loaded. I don't think the dew point was high. I really don't. It can't be. I mean, you can't. I don't think you physically can get to 115 if you have a dew point around. Well, I guess you can because it happens in the Middle East all the time.
Dew point was probably in the 50s.
Here we go. We'll give you the answer. August 3rd, 2011, 115. Yeah, there it is. 59,
Aha.
58.
Oh,
So the heat index is probably
it's weird. It was humid during the morning, then it like dropped off.
It was a west wind,
118, 119.
downsloping wind.
Congressional.
Yep. Look at how hot it was at 10 a.m. 101.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's up there, man. 115. That was just
And then 10 p.m. 97.
yeah. And then look at this.
Holy
Like,
cow.
oh, you know what? We can show you this. Stand by here. We'll pull this out. You guys want to geek out with me? We can do that. Take this, put this up there. All right, stand by. Throw this in the corner here. All right, so I'm just going to share this window. I don't have it. There we go. Really wish we had dual screens for this. So this is the daily observations. You can see them right there. Pretty hot. 108 at noon, 111 at 1, and it just kept going up at 115. There's your high temperature. But this is what I was going to show you. Look at all of the days here that was 100 degrees. Now, this was a heat wave, man. Look at June, 98, and 90, 96, 97. Now, look at this, 101, 99. So you missed the triple digits by 1 degree. A little bit of cloud cover and rain with a trace. And then we hit it 100, 101, 103. Then another little trace, no rain, just a trace. I think that was sweat from people. 105, 105, 107, 103, 106. Look at all those 100s. Look at how long it goes. Oh, my goodness. All the way to August 7th. Then I remember in September, it was still pretty hot. 85, look at that, 99, September 13th. But 101, that's hot, man. That's a lot of hot 100-degree days. So there you have it. Some
I
hot
don't
weather.
think this next heat wave will be that intense, but I do see
I
2
see
or
some-
3 weeks where we're at 98, 99, maybe even 100.
Yeah.
In there a few days for the air temperature.
Well, winter was like for that year. We had the winter before February 9th, 2011. We had the 2-foot snowstorm, and there were major snows in 2011. So the very active winter led to an extremely hot summer, but it's not the other way around. I've done a lot of research on that. A very hot summer does not necessarily lead to a super active winter.
It was also an El Nino year, so we'll be in an El Nino again. So expect.
Well, 2011 was La Nina.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh,
It
must have been a
was.
short El Nino in 2009, 2010.
Yeah, it was. It was a short El Nino, and then it went to. I know for a fact. It was La Nina because 2011. I thought the world was coming to an end. I thought Christ was coming back. Take a look at this here. I'll show you. We'll look at the ENSO archive. ONI. And there you had it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a really short in 2009. So stand by here. We'll add that to the stream so you can see. Anytime you see reds, that shows you it's above normal temperatures in the equator west of South America. So here's this weak El Nino that he talked about that only lasted just under a year. And then 2010, look at this cold. 2011, we were right in the heart of that
Wow.
La Nina. And then 2012, La Nina continued. Now, look, we have a similar pattern here.
It's a pretty strong La Nina we were in.
Yeah. And now it's transitioning to El Nino, 0.5 now, above normal. So it's neutral now, but it's about to be.
It's currently at 50% neutral, 50% El Nino.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Crazy how the
Timing?
oceans drive the weather.
Oh, isn't it cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. All teleconnections, man.
Mhm.
Well, think about it. The ocean is 70% of the Earth's coverage.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been on the ocean, like on a cruise, man, you get to see just the expansiveness of the ocean. It blows my mind. I can't believe y'all are still going, Chelsea. Yeah, I can't either.
Yeah.
We go for a long time. We can get off track. The upcoming winter may be an interesting pattern. Replicate parts of 2009. So far, extensive storms. Yeah, that 2009 led to an active winter. We had extensive storms, and so far, a quiet tropical season so far. Huh.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it'll
Yeah.
be a drier winter, and we'll see a lot of like powdery snow.
So, Chelsea, get ready for Ruthie, your dog, to not be so happy tomorrow morning. I
Yeah.
think you got some storms rolling in. Hey, Chelsea. People missed you at the Gully Park Summer Concert Series. Yeah, you can see I'm running out of steam. I got to get me a Baja Blast, get me fueled up, ready to go, and that way I have some energy
Took a
for
quick nap.
Josh. Take a quick nap too.
Yeah.
Boy, I've had some scary naps. Waking up and a Cincinnati tornado. That was bad news. 2010, December 31st. Took a little nap and then woke up, saw the radar. Yeah, it's kind of like dozing off, and it had a little bit of an impressive radar signature. Well, then you flip to velocity, and I about hit the ceiling when I saw that approaching our weather coverage area. Yeah, it was. I bounced out fast. I can't believe it's not butter. So what time are we supposed to get those storms? Let's show you again here this timing that we have. And then we're going to shut her down because we talked about basically everything and anything. And if you missed it, you can watch the replay, kind of skim through. But here's a look at that 1 day timing because most of the rain, if not all of it, is tomorrow.
Yep.
Parquet. Ever remember those commercials? Can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like butter, butter, and then it goes parquet. All right. Anyways, we're losing our minds. One last look at Mega Doppler. Let's see what that storm's doing. Northeast Oklahoma. I'm gonna have to watch that for the in-laws. Oh, looks like it's falling apart.
It's dead.
Watch. Severe thunderstorm warning.
Nah.
Don't mess with Mother Nature. Nope. Absolutely not, Melissa. Alrighty. Pardon me. Do you have any Grey Poupon? Yeah, I remember that. That was a classic advertising campaign. Well, but of course. Weird Al should cover Post Malone's. All right. Well, I guess that does it, guys. Chelsea, have a good day off. If you're still on here, she'll be off tomorrow. We'll be watching, and Josh will be in, and we'll probably be in looking at how menacing it is. And where's the beef? They're talking about different commercials. I love it. Now we're just getting. Now we're just starting to talk about nostalgic commercials. There's a bunch of old commercials I remember, and it's a good commercial if you can remember it.
Oh, yeah.
What's your least favorite commercial? I could say all
Can't
those
remember.
progressive commercials. They bug me. They irritate me.
Yeah.
They irritate me
Yeah.
to no end.
The Mayhem guy from Allstate.
Yeah, you don't like him?
Oh,
Protect
those are
yourself
fun.
from mayhem.
Yeah.
Those are
The
fun.
quality has fallen off.
Yeah.
I really loved the Geico caveman ones.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that one.
Geico just made insurance commercials funny, and then everybody tried to follow suit.
That's
yeah,
the only reason.
Progressive tried too hard.
Progressives. Ugh, not my favorite at all. It's under the pickle. Where's the beef?
Yeah.
Exactly. Dan, are you a believer of recurring weather models or forecasting? Absolutely. I do think that. I hate that mischief guy. It's under the pickle. We already said that. I'll have my Baja Blast drink with the storms. Nice. You and me both, Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get me one as soon as I head out here. So, hey, we'll go to midnight. Happy Friday, everyone. Brett beat me to it.
Storm's coming in this morning.
Good Friday morning.
We are now.
That's
the
thumbs
golden
up.
Weather team.
Thumbs down is the storms.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, guys. I think that about covers it. So here's the good news. If there's any storms that are moving in, we'll be here. We'll let you know about it. We'll do the same thing. We'll launch the stream. If there's storms that are menacing, looking like tornado potential, we'll be on the air too. So we've got you covered. We'll track this. We've done a lot of research training on QLCSs, and hopefully we can pinpoint them. It's not super easy, but hopefully we can pinpoint them, even if that warning doesn't get prompted. So
We got it.
see you
We got it,
guys.
Phil.
Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the comments, and you have a great Friday.
Finally
It's
Friday.
Friday. Later.